On February 1st, someone took an 84-year-old woman from her home in the middle of the night. They disabled her doorbell camera. They were armed, and they were gone before anyone knew she was missing. Today is exactly 1 month later. Nancy Guthrie is still missing. No suspect has been named. No arrest has been made. But investigators now know something they didn't know 4 weeks ago. A precise minute-by-minute timeline of exactly when Nancy was taken. And it comes from an unlikely source: the pacemaker in her chest. If you haven't seen our previous video on this case, here's what you need to know. Nancy Guthrie is 84 years old. She is the mother of Savannah Guthrie, co-anchor of NBC's Today Show. She lives in the Catalina Foothills neighborhood in Tucson, Arizona. On February 1st, she was reported missing after failing to appear for a virtual church service. Evidence at her home confirmed she had been abducted, taken against her will. Ransom notes demanding cryptocurrency arrived within days. 2 deadlines passed without confirmed payment. A masked, armed man had been captured on surveillance footage. That was a month ago. Since then, the investigation has produced new digital evidence, a new forensic timeline, a dramatically increased reward, and so far, no arrest. Here is everything that has changed. This is the most significant new development in this case, and it changes everything we thought we knew about the night Nancy disappeared. Investigators have pieced together a minute-by-minute timeline using digital data from 3 sources: Nancy's doorbell camera, her pacemaker, and a neighbor's Ring camera located approximately 2.5 miles from her home. Here is what that timeline looks like. 9:45 p.m., January 31st. Nancy Guthrie returns home from dinner at her daughter Annie's house. This is the last time she is seen by a family member. 1:47 a.m., February 1st, Nancy's doorbell camera is disconnected, deliberately. This was not a power outage or a technical glitch. Someone disabled it. 2:12 a.m., a person is detected on the doorbell camera, despite it having been partially tampered with. This individual was described by the FBI as an armed figure appearing to tamper with the camera system. 2:28 a.m., Nancy Guthrie's pacemaker loses its connection to the app on her iPhone. The pacemaker syncs automatically and continuously when it can. At 2:28 a.m., it stopped. That is the last known digital signal from Nancy Guthrie herself. 2:36 a.m., a Ring camera located 2.5 miles from Nancy's home captures a car speeding down a back road. This is 8 minutes after her pacemaker went silent. 8 minutes, 2.5 miles. That timeline, from camera disabled to pacemaker dark to car speeding away, is the clearest picture investigators have of when Nancy was taken and the direction her abductor may have gone. Let's stay on this point, because it matters. The doorbell camera was disconnected at 1:47 a.m., a full 25 minutes before a person was detected on the remaining camera footage, and 41 minutes before the pacemaker went dark. That gap is not an accident. Whoever took Nancy Guthrie arrived at the property early. They took time to disable the camera. Then they went inside. The FBI has released footage of the armed individual tampering with the camera. The suspect's description remains the same. Approximately 5 feet 9 inches tall, medium build, masked, gloved, carrying a backpack. But the earlier-than-expected timeline suggests this person, or possibly someone working with them, was at the property, prepared and deliberate, well before the abduction itself. The sheriff's office has confirmed that the possibility of multiple suspects or accomplices has not been ruled out. On February 16th, Savannah Guthrie announced on the Today Show that her family is offering a $1 million reward for information leading to Nancy's safe recovery. That is a five-fold increase from the $200,000 reward that existed when our previous video was published. It is one of the largest family-offered rewards in a missing persons case in recent memory. Savannah confirmed the reward can be paid in cash. The family is also donating $500,000 to the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, regardless of the outcome of the search. Since the reward announcement, the FBI has received more than 1,500 new tips. Among them, 2 women have come forward claiming to know who kidnapped Nancy Guthrie. Those tips are being investigated. The investigation is very much active. The investigation has entered what officials are calling a forensic review phase. Cell tower data is being analyzed. Every phone that pinged a cell tower in the area around Nancy's home between midnight and 4 a.m. on February 1st is being cross-referenced. This is painstaking work, but it can place specific devices and the people carrying them in the area at the time of the abduction. The Ring camera footage showing the speeding car has been submitted for forensic analysis. License plate data, vehicle make and model, and the direction of travel are all being examined. The FBI is returning Nancy's home to her family, possibly as soon as this weekend, which typically signals that the on-site evidence collection phase is complete and the investigation has shifted to lab and digital analysis. And genetic genealogy testing on the DNA recovered from the glove found 2 miles from Nancy's home is still underway. That process can take weeks to months, depending on how many relative matches exist in public genealogy databases. The Pima County Sheriff's Office has described the investigation as being refocused, moving from broad search operations toward detective-led forensic work. Experts who spoke to CNN today said it is too early to call this case cold. One forensic scientist described it as entering a critical window. 1 month in, the Nancy Guthrie case has become something unusual in American crime. A kidnapping for ransom, in a gated upscale neighborhood with surveillance disabled in advance, targeting the elderly mother of a celebrity anchor, with cryptocurrency ransom demands, and an unidentified armed suspect. There is almost no comparable case in recent US history. What investigators are dealing with, an organized, premeditated abduction by at least one person who appears to have surveilled the property beforehand, does not fit the profile of an opportunistic crime. The level of preparation, the deliberately disabled camera, the cryptocurrency demand, the ransom note referencing a specific detail about a broken floodlight at the property. All of this points towards someone who planned this carefully. The question that has haunted this case for a month remains unanswered. Where is Nancy Guthrie? The pacemaker stopped at 2:28 a.m. A car sped away at 2:36. After that, nothing. No confirmed sightings, no confirmed location, no confirmed condition. If you want to help, contact the FBI at 1-800-CALL-FBI or submit a tip at tips.fbi.gov. The $1 million reward can be paid in cash. Savannah Guthrie and her family are asking anyone with information, no matter how small it seems, to come forward. The genetic genealogy test results will be the next major development to watch. If the DNA from that glove matches a relative in a public database, investigators can begin building a family tree, the same method that caught the Golden State Killer. That process is ongoing. The cell tower data analysis could also be decisive. If a specific phone was in the area at 2:28 a.m. and can be identified, it could place a suspect at the scene. 1 month in, the investigation is not cold. And for the Guthrie family, every day of waiting is its own particular kind of grief. We will keep covering this case as it develops. If there is an arrest, new evidence, or a major break, we will post immediately. If you watched our first video on this case from a week ago, thank you for coming back. Drop in the comments what you think happens next. The cell tower data, the genealogy test, the 2 women who say they know who did it. If this is your first video with us, subscribe and hit the bell. We cover forensic science and true crime every week, and we will be on this case until there is an answer. Stay safe. See you in the next one.